Today's puzzles aren't for the faint of heart. We're taking 10 positions so tough, even titled players have to pause. So let's get you set up with another 10 seconds on the clock. And it's your turn to find the moves. Countdown starting now. Let's go! That's it. You're out of time. How'd you do? Make sure you drop your comment down below. We will get to those comments and the answer very soon. But for now, I want to welcome you back to day 14 of elevating your game with 303 tactical chess puzzles. I'm vryBot, a US certified chess coach and an international expert. And today's challenge is all about tougher puzzles. So, the kind that test your patience, precision, and your ability to calculate one move deeper than your opponent. We've trained your pattern recognition, we've seen quiet moves, we've had bold moves. Today is resilience. Never back down, never give up. So here in this puzzle, we're going to keep it in white's perspective, and it's black to move. Looks easy, right? Well, don't just fall for the first flashy moves that you see. We've got to do some calculation. That's the resilience part. So let's take a look at everything that's possible. Yes, we have a check here, but it doesn't lead to much. The king escapes. Then what do? We can win an exchange back. By the way, you should have counted material, and I'll let you guys do all that work. Drop it in the comments. As for this chess puzzle, we're not looking for equality here. We're looking for a way to smash our opponent. Bishop to g4. Did you spot bishop to g4? When I was doing this puzzle, I looked at it twice and dismissed it twice. So the third time is when I figured out how it all works. The pawn is pinned, so there's no capture. We'll mate him on f2. Next, well, let's try to find a place to go for the queen h1 check. Let's just play a move. Let's just play any old move here. Let's see what happens. Queen to h1 check, king runs. This happens. Pawn takes is the only move on the board. Queen takes f3 is actually mate. So let's back up. That's on moving the queen. You could try some kind of computer-like move. We'll do check anyways. King runs, check, pawn takes, queen takes, king runs, and mate here. In the face, an epaulette. Let's look at more. What about queen takes pawn? Looks interesting. Check, takes, runs, queen takes, rook blocks, only move, queen takes, mate on the board again. An epaulette again. In your face again. So that will actually bring us to the bonus puzzle from the last video. So let's take a look. This is what I left you guys with, and we're going to go ahead and solve it right here on the board. Rook to b7. Let's give it check. Let's take care of some of this attacking stuff. Get it right out of the way. Attack the king. King goes for a walk. And then find in our bold moves video that a quiet move is played. Bishop to c8. Oh? How's this work? Well, this is a real simple threat of rook to a6 to win the game. Next move. So black gives up their queen just to try and wiggle out, get some more movement in the game. White's going to go ahead and tear up the rest of this game. Here, what do you see? Split second decision. Well, hopefully you can see right away that we've got an opportunity for a fork here. It's black to play. Material's equal, but we got to find something that gives us an advantage. Otherwise, we don't have an advantage. So I'd really like to make this knight move away if I could. If I could figure out just any way to get this knight to move. Oh, that's easy. Good job. So, pawn to f5, but that leaves a question. Can white actually bother us and stop our plan? Now we won't be able to go here until the knight moves. So, do we run away? Do we come all the way back? Or do we take the pawn? Well, taking the pawn actually gives us just the tempo needed to continue our attack on the knight, in which case the knight moves wherever he likes to go, and we will fork him anyways on the f2 square instead of the e3 square. With this fork, we're going to pick up the rook on the next turn, and that's winning. Big time! Now, this puzzle actually stumped the computer. It started running all these lines. It just wants to go play regular chess. Now, black is winning in every situation here, but there's a fantastic move here that's crushing. Did you spot it? Bishop to f1. It's actually the first thing my mind went to, and then I got to make it work, and that actually pleases me because I got rewarded for being resilient. I kept looking at a move that makes not a ton of sense. Optically, it must have made sense to somewhere deep in my subconscious, because I know that moving this in the way is going to give me just the time to push on past. No matter what he does, I could take here. If he wants to go the other way, there's another line. Push the pawn, run to his rook, check him, run to his rook, take here, and we continue gobbling up everything. Now what's fun about this is there's no escape. So white's plan is to put his rook here, get his king over, and that stops our outside pass pawn. All we've got to do is find the moment to get here. Now if he doesn't take us, maybe he moved the king over, we'll check him. If he puts the rook there, we'll go and attack the rook. So once we get to f1, he's also got to worry about us getting to g2. Did your calculation hold up? If you're feeling the mental strain on this one, we're right where you want to be. Let's get you to more of a familiar situation. Here we have an opening. This is very standard. Some of you guys might even recognize this position. But I'm going to let you do the method. What's the method? Well, you're going to have to continue watching to figure that out, or you're going to have to go back to previous videos. We're going to put the method together here, so I suggest you pause the video, take a look at the method, and then see if you can't find some moves. After you've found some good candidate moves, it's time to be resilient with your calculation. That's where the work's going to happen. Remember, from now on, you're going to pause the video, drop your answers in the comments. Did you find it? It's not too tough. Here we have knight takes, and that redeploys an attack on h7. This knight's trying to guard it here, but he has an option. Should I take here? Probably. Let us have the h7 pawn. It's not too terrible. Black can continue playing the game. There's also queen takes, which remains guarding the h7 square. What do we do then? Well, then the whole thing's changed. We're going to go ahead and stick our bishop on f5, attacking the queen and the rook behind her. That's a skewer. Thanks for cruising right along with me. Let's do a quick recap. In the very first puzzle, we saw pins. We saw adding an attacker into the attack, a bit of alluring, kind of just putting the clamp down on either a mate threat or winning big material. Second puzzle was simply moving a knight away or kicking out the guard. Third puzzle was a bit of an interference or even a blocking technique to make sure that white's rook doesn't enter the game at all. And what we've just seen moments ago is a removal of the guard and a skewer. So how is your calculation holding up? Okay, the rest of our puzzles, brutal. Think, calculate, commit. And we're going to get right back to the method. So, counting material, looking for checks, captures, and threats. Someday we'll add to that list. For now, it's 4 things that you should be doing in every puzzle. Also, if you ever want to pause the video, drop your comments below. We can discuss some of these positions together. These puzzles are always going to have similarities to stuff we've seen in the past now because we have a very good collection behind us. We're working this puzzle series every single day for 30 days. So I do expect you to get a little bit of pattern recognition in there. Can you figure this out? We get to experience a little simplicity with this one, making us happy. Hey, let's go. We need to feel good every once in a while. Queen takes. If king takes, we're going to check him over here. That's a king fork. All right. Queen takes. Knight takes. Hey, we're going to fork him over here on the other side. Either way, we're picking up material. We're winning this game easy. So, never back down. Never give up. Make sure you check out videos 9, 10, and 11. Those days included similar tactics to this puzzle here. Now, in solving this puzzle, I actually wanted to play bishop takes, and then I calculated it, and I was correct, and then I looked in the answer key, and I found that knight takes also works. So we've got 2 possibilities here. Now we're going to do the work this time to make sure that you're doing our 4 steps in the method. So as for material, we've got 3 pawns for white, 3 pawns for black, 2 minor pieces for white, 2 minor pieces for black. In fact, it's even a knight versus a knight and a bishop versus a bishop of the same color. Sometimes you want to recognize when there's different opposite color bishops, and we've got the rooks on the board as well as the queens. So plenty of heavy pieces, plenty of minor pieces. This is the end game a bit. It's much more closer to the end game and coming out of the middle game than it is close to the opening. So we've got a couple options here. We're looking for checks and captures. Here's a check. It's a decent check. Here's a check. It takes a pawn and gives a check. That's great. So we're also looking for captures usually. Here's a capture. Knight takes. Also, there's rook takes. Other checks. Oops, forgot to mention there is this here and this here. It's something to notice. And threats. Our threats are going to come out of the situation where we're using these checks and captures. So here, I'm just going to go roll with my idea. Bishop takes. I like it better. So if bishop takes, knight takes, and the king is not allowed to step over the side, he's got to move under direct attack of the rook. We've got to get our knight out of the way, but we've got the perfect way to do that. Knight to d5 hits the queen, unleashes the attack. He can move the queen and try to save his king, but you know what? The knight is still guarding that square. He just came from there, so we're going to capture that no problem. Let's go back, take a look at one more variation. If king goes here, we could even do knight to d5. That might give him the biggest chance materially in the game to stay alive for a while. But this game, guaranteed winning for white. So tough puzzles aren't just about finding the move, they're about training your focus stamina also. So here's a pro tip. When you hit a wall, don't guess. Just step back, visualize every piece's role, and you'll start to see the tactics appear in your eye and your mind. This one should take you no more than 30 seconds to solve. As long as you notice that this king is all sorts of in trouble. All right, he's got one square to go to if he gets checked, and we do have a check. So we're going to check him, push him to the back. We're going to push our pawn, and should we get a knight or a bishop or a rook might work, but let's grab a queen. Let's make sure that we promote into a queen, because when we recapture back, it's actually checkmate. There was no getting out of that one. So now it's your turn. Can you do this faster than an international master who took 4 minutes to solve this? Well, go ahead and pause it. You should probably time how long it takes yourself to get this done. And drop your comments with your answers when you're done. You know, without the pausing video feature, I'm just going to jump right into it, right? You know that, right? All right, here we go. We're going to give a check. We're hitting the king, and I'm trying to get that rook from behind him. Is he going to let me? We'll find out. All he really can do is put something in the way. He can put his bishop in the way or put his queen in the way. If queen goes in the way, we take. If bishop goes in the way, we have more work to do. So stay resilient, never back down, never give up. So let's attack this queen. This is a great puzzle for that. Queen goes here, she's attacking us, and maybe we get mated. Darn. Or maybe not. Maybe we're resilient and we keep attacking. Rook takes. And we don't get the time to actually go behind him and grab what we first spotted with our eye. But there's so much more left in this puzzle. We can continue with this check. We can continue with this check. I can continue with this check. In fact, every single way is winning. But it's fun to watch that in this variation, the queen actually has to leave. Leave us alone. Never give up. Make that queen go away from what she was doing to bother us. And then we'll continue attacking and win the game this way. Of course, there's other variations, but that's for you to work out. What did you come up with? I look forward to seeing them down below. So there is a new twist, a little change to the format of these video series. Here I'm leaving you with a puzzle that I will not be giving you the answer in the video. What you can do is you can drop your comment below with your answer, what you've come up with, and we can discuss it. And I do look forward to commenting with you in the comment section of this video and discussing this answer with you. So we will call this the secret puzzle of the video, and we will be including those in every video. And that leads us right into our bonus puzzle. You're going to find a lot of puzzles like this in days 2, 3, and 4. So if you look back on the video series, take a look at days 2, 3, and 4 for puzzles quite like this. Now, Again, I'm leaving you, but I will be back to discuss the answer with you. You can drop your answer in the comments. We can discuss it there, and then I'd be happy to mention you or feature you in the next video if you happen to give me full and correct analysis on this puzzle. And your comment is within good timing. So if today's puzzles pushed you, hit that like button and let me know which one broke your brain first. We are moving along a little bit quickly through this 30-day series, and trust me, tomorrow's theme even crazier. All right, guys, thanks again for joining me. Next up will be Cartoon vryBot on your screen. If you click that guy, you can subscribe real easy right there. There's also going to be previous videos pulling up on your screen in the end cards, as well as the playlist right here. Be sure to check out vryBot.com. That's vryBot. Click on services and I'll be happy to coach you if you need a coach in the ring with you. GG's!